Alright, number 10, we want to find all the antiderivatives of the given function. And we're given g of t is equal to 12. So I don't like that they use the capital letter. That's what we use to represent the antiderivative. Normally we start with lowercase. However, since they're doing g of t, we'll say that this was a t to the 0 power, which is the same as 1. And then whenever you go through the integral process, okay, taking the antiderivative, we add 1, and then we divide by that power. Okay. So this will be equal to 12, and then 0 plus 1 will just give me 12t to the first power. And then 0 plus 1 dividing by 1 will just give you the same thing. And then every time you take the antiderivative, you have to remember plus c. You could have had a constant. I'm integrating something else. So 12t plus c is a function of t. And just be careful, like each problem they're using the different letters, r, t, x, whatever they use, make sure you use the same thing. All right, here we're going to find this integral. Now here, if you're comfortable with remembering the process for finding a derivative and going backwards, you'll be okay. However, a u substitution may help. So sometimes here's when I have a u substitution whenever I see this chain rule being used, and I'll show you what that looks like. We have integral of 7s plus 3 squared ds. So let's talk about what we should get first. Okay, so whenever we found the derivative, okay, the process is multiply, subtract 1, and then you take the derivative of the inside and multiply. So since we're going backwards, we're going to add 1, divide, find the derivative of the inside, and then divide by that. Okay. Sometimes it may be hard to kind of follow that. So here's where we use u substitution sometimes. So let me show you. To make this look like a regular power rule, we'll let the inside, this whole thing, be equal to u. So we'll say u is change of variables, basically. U is equal to 7s plus 3. Okay. Now we're doing the derivative or the antiderivative with respect to s, so we also need to do antiderivative of u with respect to u. So we need to figure out what du is. That's the derivative of u. Okay. So if u is equal here, then the derivative of this would just be derivative of 7s would be 7. That would be 0, and this is a derivative with respect to s. Now, we are going to plug in a u. We also have to plug in for du, and to solve for ds, we got to get ds by itself, so we would need to divide by 7. And so that would give us du divided by 7 is equal to ds, because I'm going to have to replace that ds. So I'm going to use this and this to make myself an easier problem. Alright, so what that does is now it says, okay, now you're taking the integral of, instead of 7s plus 3, this is all replaced with a u squared, and then in place of the ds, since I changed that, ds is equal to du divided by 7. So whenever you take the integral, remember you can factor out a constant, so we can just pull that 1 over 7 to the outside, and now we can find the integral like this. So if you add 1 and then divide by that same. That's going to give you your integral. So this 1 over 7 is out there, and this is u to the third divided by 2 plus 1 is 3. So we'll multiply that 7 and 3. They're both on the bottom. So we end up with u to the third over 7 times 3, which is 21. And then we started out with an s, so now we go back and plug in what was u equal to. U was 7s plus 3. So my final answer will be 7s plus 3 to the third over 21. So, and then we got to remember our plus c. Can't forget that plus c. So this will be our antiderivative. Now, you may have been okay trying to do it this way, but I'll kind of walk you through it. If you add 1 and then divide, okay, you'll have a 1 over 3 7s plus 3 to the third, and then you'd have to take this derivative, which is 7, and instead of multiplying by it, you would divide by that 7. So that's how you get that 21 down there. So if you could follow that, you might be okay doing that. It does take a little bit of a thought process trying to go through the chain rule, but I learned to do it with u substitution, and if you can follow that, it may help you because it looks really easy to do it like so, and then just go back and plug it in. But you do have to remember some of those intermediate steps. But I'm sorry, a lot of this is running off the screen and I did not notice it. Our antiderivative, 1 divided by 21, and then we have 7s plus 3 raised to the third and plus c.